members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing good. For those who follow Spiritual Encrypted Encounters on Facebook, I got a group there. And for those who follow my showreel TikToks under HCS 865, how's everybody doing this evening? For me, it's been a hot day here in Texas. A real hot day. It's been hot for a while now. You know, when it gets too hot, that means that the light bill is going to be, the electric bill is going to be very high. I hope everybody's doing good. As for me, I had a crazy day today. Well, you know, it's just sometimes things happen a certain way just to see what you're going to do or how you're going to react to a situation. Some medication that I've been waiting for never showed up. It's been, let's see, 13 days and nothing has showed up. So I called the VA facility. They told me that they sent it to the wrong address. And I was like, how is that possible? When I've been here for about 3 years and you've been sending my mail to my address that I have right now. How is that even possible that you send it somewhere else? No, so to me, you know, it could be a mistake. Maybe some new people working there. I don't know. But to me, you know, everything be coming to my address, a mail and everything from the VA facility be coming to this address. You know, there's no way to me bringing up my old address where they supposedly sent out the medicines to, and I'm waiting here for these medicines, so I have to go all the way up there in the heat to go get it corrected. I think I even missed an appointment I was supposed to have through. They were supposed to call me, and you know, it's like crazy. How you doing, Sister Madeline, cousin Jesse, brother Vash? So, you know, that was my day. It's like sometimes, you know, it's like I could think about a lot of things, like it was done intentionally. I mean, anything that the doctors had prescribed me or sent me out order something, they would mail it for 3 years straight to my address here. And all of a sudden that I go do an appointment with the doctor because they never contacted me and make them do an appointment is then all of a sudden my address, they send the medicines to the wrong address. Nobody called me from the facility or anything to my number. You know, that's the one thing is it's not going to change is my number. So it makes you wonder, you know, if people are playing games there or they're doing things intentionally just to see how you're going to react to that. And I think that's kind of messed up. How you doing, John Acosta? So that was my day today. You know, it's like I need to stay calm. I need to stay relaxed. I went to where I did my appointment a week ago and I asked them, what's the address you got here? They said the same address that I have right now. Then I went, you know, it's like, I don't know how they can make a mistake like that. There's no way in the world that they did something like that, unless they did it intentionally or some new people, I don't know. But that's what happens when you're trying to do good things. You know, I had to stay calm and relaxed, you know, because I think I've been out of some meds for about 6 days already. Me expecting for those meds to come through the mail, which that's what the doctor has said they're going to send them through the mail, and I never received nothing. So that was crazy. But so much about me. How's everybody? Yeah, you know, it's kind of like if they mess up, it's okay. But if you miss an appointment or something, they want to be on you. You know, they want to get on you and stuff like that. It is what it is. The good thing is I was able to go get my medicines myself, so that wouldn't chip them to me. God knows that they'll chip them somewhere else. You know. Yes, I was trying to see if I can invite cousin Jesse, but apparently the YouTube it's not doing the guests no more for some reason. I don't know if they put a stop to that or what. So I'm going solo again till we figure out how we can get cousin Jesse back on here. You know, I was telling cousin Jesse that we could always do a live off my Facebook. You know, off Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Then I can download the video and place it on here. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll figure something out. So yeah, it was one of those days for me that like it's not like I'm surprised. It's normally things like that happen to me when I'm trying to do something positive. When I started doing the walking. Boom. The bottom of my feet by the fifth day bruises. They came out of nowhere. So I've been dieting pretty good, and then this happens. You know, but you know that's what normally happens when you're trying to do something good. That obstacles always come in that nature, trying to test you to see what you're gonna do. Yeah, I know, cousin. I just don't know what's going on with YouTube right now. You're still not able to do anything. Yeah, it's not letting me do nothing. So, but let's continue on with the show. Uh, I hope y'all enjoyed yesterday's show. You know, was getting pretty deep into things. For those who haven't viewed uh, the video or the short reel I created, I told you yesterday that I was gonna create a short reel, uh, and I created it. I had to look into my photos, and I found the area where I was standing, and you can see the portal behind me by the trees. A portal was there, a round portal. I don't know if y'all seen the short reel that I created today. Yeah, that's a pretty big portal right there. Uh, Pretty big portal. As big as it was, man, you could anything would come out through there, you know, or possibly a lot of things could come out through there. How did the portal get there? I don't know, but it's there. I believe uh, that's where I was experiencing all that activity, and only God knows if there's other portals there. But in that area was a hotspot for me, in which you know went back to the videos, you know, second per second, just to see if I could find some kind of evidence. And there you go. That's an old picture, old video, and it's got the portal right up above me on the tree lines. It's on the trees itself. You know, it's not even on the ground. It's on the trees itself, and I guess there's all kinds of activity there. Yes. You know, when you see that, that's what I was showing y'all. This, yesterday because the portal was black like this. It looks like that, a circular. Let me see if I can fix some of this lighting here. If you haven't viewed it, check it out. I created a short reel. The location is Elms Grove in Killeen, Texas. I call it the Path of Elms Grove, where I had my encounter. And you can see the portal up, up, where the trees are at, up above the trees. It's not on the ground; it's above the trees, in the air. Annette Persiana. Yeah, so today what we're going to talk about is a lot of things that's well, we're going to talk about the Ouija boards. We're going to talk about uh, card readers, fortune tellers, psychics, um, people that open up to the spirits. You know what can happen when people open up to the spirits in that manner, right? That's what the topic is for today. Ooh, look, somebody's got a Jesse fan here. Said that he misses the hats and everything. I don't know. Something happened that YouTube is not doing the lives like we used to. He's not letting me add no guest. I guess people kept reporting our channel or something, but I've never received no reports either. So I'm thinking it's something internally because I believe they were going to change some things by August. But I'm still doing live. I can still go live, but I had to do it by myself for right now. You know, got to figure a way uh, to have Jesse, cousin Jesse, be able to do lives with me. Try to told him about StreamYards, but it's just we'll figure it out. Thank you, sister Annette. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. You know, which one do you want to talk about first? Ouija boards, fortune tellers. Let me. I think I heard a sound there or something, and I don't want that sound to be going off every time that can't do nothing. Okay, we're just gonna go with it. What is this right here? Uh, well, the tarot card readings is like, to me, all the cards, but there's some that have symbols, right? You got some cards like you got some mythological cards, you got some dragon cards, you got tribal cards. They come in many different ways, right? This cards, and they say certain things. So every card you set up or you shuffle is going to resonate to somebody in some kind of way because of what it says. But at the same time, you're just going up but what the card is saying. It's not like you're really like praying for the person to what they're going through, and most of the time the people want answers of things that are happening in their life. So that's where the cards come in play. But at the same time, you got to remember one thing: it's about believing, right? So if the person that's reading the cards is opening up spiritually to sense things, even though the cards already say something, but they're opening up spiritually, and what they're opening up to is something unclean that's around them, something demonic that's giving them the answers, right? Then what are they truly believing in it? Are they believing in the card reader, or are they believing in the cards, or are they believing in the source that's giving the reader, you know, uh, to read the cards a certain way? But it's the belief factor in which that could be a spiritual opening. When you start, I got a couple of decks that I bought just to buy, but they're closed. I have never opened them. When I was buying minerals at the very beginning, yeah, I have a niece that she was doing like reading cards, you know, but I know that could be a spiritual opening. Yeah, I'm just saying it's the cards are set up a certain way, so it's kind of like you're gonna have something that the card is gonna say is gonna resonate to you, which that's the things that they're how they build a card is those are the things that happen in life, what you just mentioned right now. There's predictions, they're within the cards, it's dealing with life and death, that's just what happens as we live here in this world. Is It's not like they're predicting anything, it's destiny, we're born, we live, there's accidents, and we die. That's and that's what basically the cards are. There's some people that I'll give an example. There was a lady that was guess she was going to a card reader uh, to find answers. I guess if her husband was okay and stuff like that. And this card readers, they were charging them quite a bit of money just so they could communicate with supposedly their dead husband, in which that's kind of crazy because me honestly, I don't believe in the tarot cards or none of the things because those are influenced by other forces. That's why they're set up that way. Uh, I ain't gonna say they're not communicating with something, but I just don't think they're communicating with the person that they think they're communicating with. And the Ouija board is a prime example of that. Where did tarot even originate from? Uh, Man, this is dealing with all that is dealing with witchcraft and orchromancy. If you look at the symbols, or the hieroglyphics of even the pyramids, a lot of that is kind of like comes comes from those areas where you know some of these cards. You got a deck of angelic cards, you got a deck of demon cards, witches cards, and just death cards. You know, and I guess it's a moneymaker for the people that are selling them. Then for the people that are believing in that, and they're just focused on believing in the card, and they focus about what their real ability is spiritually, or to even have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ will give you the answers spiritually without looking at any cards. You don't need to look at any cards. He'll just guide you that way. Yes, a lot of the things is a moneymaker. The Ouija board, uh, the thing, it kind of, it's been here for a very long time. They used to make them out of wood back in the day, but it kind of expanded when Walmart. I think Walmart was one of the stores that they started selling them, like, so children can play with them. Uh, you can go to your local Walmart and find a Ouija board in there. You know, I think they even got some Ouija boards now that light up, that make them look fancy. But those are portals. Well, I mean, I've seen it. I witnessed it. My sister. I've seen it with my sister. That's why I talk about it. And we're talking about it the other day when she was here. I don't know where she bought this Ouija board from. Uh, I had seen the movies back in the '80s of the Ouija board, Ouija 1, 2, and 3. You know, but to me, it was just a movie. They're like, oh, they're just trying to make something that's to scare people. Uh, but when my sister came home with a Ouija board, I was at work. I didn't even know. She had bought it somewhere at a garage sale or something. But this board that she had was not even like the Walmart boards that are made out of cardboard or anything like that. This was made out of wood, like real wood, and it had the symbols on there and stuff like that. And this glass thing. When I first seen it, I said like, those things are not real. That's fake. So I was too busy working 2 jobs. I would work in the afternoons and at nighttime. Uh, my sister, she would tell me the Ouija board don't like you. It says it hates you. You know. It's like, what are you talking about? And she would say, well, I was messing with the Ouija board with my friends, and they said that where was I at? Said my name. Said they were at a dirt road, messing with the Ouija board, and it brought my name up, and they said that it hated me, you know, and I'm not even there. I'm at work, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on, you know. But I said, she's just messing around, probably trying to mess with me, trying to play a prank on me and stuff like that. Let me see. So my sister would even take this Ouija board to school with her, you know, to school with her. So she was getting kind of attached to this board, and every time she spoke to me, she kept on saying, "I don't know, for some reason the spirit of the Ouija board, that's what you would call it, doesn't like you." You know. So there was one day that my sister came from work. She was telling me that there was something in the attic, that there was like a cassette or cassette tape right there, you know, and I just ignored her and kept on going to work. Then one day I was by myself there at the house. It was my day off. And I said, you know what? I said, let me go see. I say there's something up there in the attic. In the attic, it's dark in the attic, right? So I'll go up in there with a little flashlight, because I was just trying to see, to call her bluff, to say that it was that that it's a liar, you know. So that's what my point was, to prove that it was bluffing her. So I'm up there, in my house by myself up in the attic, and I'm not finding nothing. Then I hear somebody running, like the inside my home. You know, I'm in the attic and I hear footsteps inside the house. You don't have a wooden floor. You hear somebody running, and it's my sister, and she's screaming at me, and she told me, "Get out of there! Get out of there! It's coming for you! It's coming for you!" So like, I was like, "Who's coming for me?" And she said, "Whatever, you know, the spirit of the Ouija board is coming for you." Because she said, I guess she was playing it somewhere, and that the Ouija board told her that I was in the attic. That the Ouija board told her I was in the attic, that it was coming for me. So I look around with a flashlight. I'm not seeing nothing. You know, I step down, but it's like it was weird that she knew I was in the attic. So, so to me, that's saying that something ain't right. You know, that apparently there's a spirit roaming around from that Ouija board. It hates me, so that means that it's unclean or possibly demonic. So I let it be, and I was like, "Hey, you need to stop playing with that board," you know. Uh, One day I get off of work, I come in the house. My sister was skipping school and stuff like that. Come in the house, and my sister is there in the living room. She's sitting down, and her hair is over her face. You know, when you hear you see about the movie, was it The Ring, when with the whale they had the face, I mean, the hair over the face. That's the way my sister was. And the little freaking thing of the Ouija board was moving by itself. And my sister was saying all the bad words it was saying to me, like, 'cause it was moving real fast. And she was saying all the bad words, like my sister was acting weird. So the Ouija board said, "You kill me, this will kill your mother." So that's when I knew that it was something evil, right? So I got upset, and my sister just had the hair over her head, over her face, and I said, "What if I put some holy water on you? What are you gonna do?" The Ouija board, my sister, I seen her legs wasn't moving or nothing. The Ouija board started trembling by itself, all crazy. And he said, I guess my sister, because it was like had her control over her. She said, "You made me. You almost made me." I said, "All right." Like, basically, because I challenged it. I challenged whatever that was to show itself, so I could fight it spiritually. And then it was saying, you almost made me," and that's when he said that about my mother. So I said, "All right." So I got I had some holy water, had a crucifix, and a gasoline outside waiting, because had been getting tired of getting on my sister because I seen a change in her. So when I got the Ouija board out of her laps, she attacked me, man. She jumped at me and started punching me in the face. Ooh, 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 ooh. I mean, she was throwing solo bolos on me, hitting me in the face, and I was just shook her off. Took the Ouija board outside, started, saying the Our Father. Put some holy water at the crucifix as I was praying the Our Father. Then I took it off, and I put some gasoline on it. And all the time, my sister's fighting, and they're holding her back. I can't remember who was there that day that was holding her, but she was acting not herself. And I lit it up. We lit the sucker up. I lit it up. The only thing you can see is like black smoke, dark black smoke coming out of the wood, like, something bad. The and after we burned it, there was a little bit remainder of it. So there was this kid that they went to go get rid of it, but when he came back, he was acting strange, like something was the matter with him. So I had to pray for him, and his brothers took him home because he was acting, strange. Uh, my sister was calm after that, you know. Things seemed to be okay, you know. Let me see. Let me read some of this comment before I continue. Okay, so let me continue this, and I'll go back to the. I'll get back with a question, so you can ask me a question after I finish the story. So 2 weeks went by, everything was fine. My sister was back to normal. I was going to work, and you could see a whole difference. She wasn't talking about no more Ouija board or carrying the Ouija because the Ouija board was gone. She didn't try to go buy another one or anything like that. So this is 2 weeks later from that incident. I'm outside my home. I have female friends that came and visit me. It was three females. Uh, they were my friends, and we were just joking around outside. It was like around 10:30 at night. And as I'm standing out there talking to him, there's this guy that passes. He's got like a black pants and a white shirt on, and he passes on a 10-speed bike. This is like in the 86, 87. I say 86. So he passes by on the bike, or possibly 88. He passes on a bike, and when he passes by, he makes this howling sound like an animal. This weird sound. So the girls that are there, they scream, and they get scared. So I seen him do a 360 back on his bike, and he comes back, and he parks right there by us where we're at. He's looking at the females, and he says, "Who's scared? Who's scared?" And it's kind of like they're not saying nothing. It's kind of like they're just motionless, like they can blink their eyes or they can say nothing. And he's asking them who's scared. And I told him nobody's. I was gonna say nobody's scared, and he's like, I said nobody, and he said, "You shut up." That's what he told me. And he looked like this guy that I knew from school named Martin Kafka. Looked like him. I was like, "Hey Martin, what's up with you, man? Are you high on weed or something?" And he looks at me, and he said, "My name is not Martin, Martin or Martin." So then he goes to the girls again and said, "Who's scared?" And it's like they're not responding to him. It's kind of like there's no time. Like they're not moving, they're not blinking or anything. So I ask him again. I ask him, "What are you doing here?" And he tells me to shut up again. I said, "Man, don't be coming to my home where I live and disrespect me." And then it's like every time I did try to do something, he will mimic me. Like if I put my hand on my hips, he will mimic that. If I cross my arms, he will mimic. He was mimicking every move that I made, like taunting me, to see I'm gonna get pissed off or something. So I'm trying to figure out why he's trying to mimic me. So after a while, he tells me something. He said, "I'm gonna tell you," because I asked him why is he there, and he said, "I'm gonna give you." He said, "I'm gonna let you know why I'm here." He said, "Just because you place some holy water on me, place a crucifix on me, and burn me, doesn't mean you're gonna get rid of me." So when he said that, the only thing I could think of was the Ouija board. So I'm really looking at this, and I said, this guy is not really Martin. It's something else. How would he know about what happened to the Ouija board? You know. So he's looking at me. I'm looking at him, and he tells me something. You know. He tells me there's two paths. One path, ah, you already know that path. But in my path, you can have all the money in the world. You'll be the richest man in the world. But you got to follow my path. That's what he told me. When he was telling me this car passed by with the brights. You could see the the face was like a skull. It had a snake coming out of the eye. And when he passed by, he just looking at me, and he's got this weird smile in his face, and he's just looking at me, and he's like trying to give me an ultimatum of what I want to do, you know. It's like a proposal. And I said, well, at that time my sister comes out, and she said, hey, what's up, Martin? Because she looked like this guy named Martin. And he called her by her house name, which really nobody knew her nickname like that. So it's like I told her go inside. I was like, it's la cosa mala, something evil. So she was just looking, and she's like, I guess she realized that it wasn't him because it looked like him, but it wasn't him. So she went in there, and I started praying against him. So well, I'm going to give you my answer. So praying the Our Father, who art in heaven. As I was praying the Our Father, it started moving real fast, side to side. Then my sister comes out of the house, and she's praying with me. So it's me praying and she's praying because she knew it was something bad. She has the same senses that I have. My sister, she has those senses also. So she came to help me, and we're praying against it as we're in prayer against it. His face was moving real fast, real rapid, that you couldn't see his true form like that. Uh, he said, I cannot win right now. And he said, there's going to be a time that God is not going to be with you, and I'm going to be there. So he was on a 10-speed bike. He took like 3 or 4 steps. There was a puff of white smoke that covered all the street, and it smelled like sulfur. But him and the bike disappeared. But there was one thing he had said. One thing before he disappeared, he said, when I passed through here, I could have turned into any form that I wanted to. He said I could have turned into a lion. And I told him, it didn't matter what form you took, I would have kicked you like a dog. That's what I told him. So basically it was a demon. And I believe it was a demon that was affiliated with the Ouija board. That was because it was a portal. The Ouija board was a portal that the demon went through, right? Not just went through and affected my sister, and I did what I had to do. It came in a manifestation to let me know what's up, you know. But even like that, I overcame it through. At that time, I didn't know about tying, binding, and rebuking. I just knew about going into prayer. When you have true faith to believe in Jesus Christ, you pray because you believe, you have the faith. But yeah, what was tripped out was the way his face was moving. It's like he was moving so freaking rapid that it, like, and his voice changed from the way he was talking to. It sounded very, how should I say, primal, like like an animal, evil. His voice changed, but I stay focused in the prayer and you know, calling upon the Heavenly Father. That was my one one of the first, not the first, but so one of the battles that I fought spiritually was against that demon that that came through that Ouija board that was messing with my sister all along. It showed itself to me. It literally manifested and pretended to look like a guy. So after that day, 2 weeks later, I see that guy. It's like, hey man, let me talk to you. It's during the day. I said, what happened? What's up with you 2 weeks ago, bro? Why come you come with disrespect my friends and stuff like that? And he's like, so what are you talking about? So you come to my house disrespecting me, because no, even then, even though all that happened, I wanted to make sure, right? Make sure that it wasn't just my imagination, right? Or what we witnessed. The guy said that there's no way that I could have been here 2 weeks ago. He said because I was locked up in jail for a month. I just came out of jail I've been locked up in there for a month. So he had barely come out of the county jail. So let me see some of these comments here. So we got Bonnie Honey Bear, Fruition, Cornrow Fishing, Real MMA. So that's a true story, a true event that happened. Trust me, the Ouija, there's nothing good that's going to come out of a Ouija board. If you think you're communicating with your loved ones that are deceased, they're playing you. They're playing you. The demon is playing you because it's got you believing. Let me see some of the comments here. Uh, uh, well, you don't want the Ouija board to be around because the demon's going to be coming in and out of the Ouija board. You know, it's like a portal. It's an open portal. So long that the Ouija board remains in your house, the demon can come in and out of there freely, you know, and run havoc in your house, unseen. I would suggest, yeah, get rid of it. You see, I burned it, and I still didn't get rid of the demon. But I would just said to try to keep it out of your house is just get rid of the board completely. You have to throw it in the trash, burn it, whatever you want to do with it. Just get rid of it. Yeah, they sell them at Walmart. Uh, that's what I'm trying to say, people. I think somebody was talking about that Ouija board said something good to them. Trust me, man. They're gonna sweet talk you to make you think it's your loved one. It's not your loved one. It's communicating with you. It's a portal. It's a spirit. but not the spirit of your loved one that's communicating with you. It's demonic spirit. Yeah, imagine the people that have it in the room, laying in the room, and the demon, just running loose in the house because they're believing in it. So it has a free roaming to go anywhere in that household because they got the board inside the house. So look at me, I burned the sucker, and it still showed itself to me in its manifestation. And it's the demon manifestation was in the form of somebody I knew. I'm telling you, those demons, they're very, very deceitful. But I was following my spirit. My spirit was guiding me, and I knew it was in him. I was just trying to figure out what it was, or who it was. And he showed me his true nature when he started uh, trying to change forms right in front of me. And he started growling and talking in a beastly voice. But I wasn't afraid of it, and I started continued to stay in prayer. That's when it took off. He said, I cannot win right now because it was doing the different manifestations, trying to change form, but it couldn't change form because I was in prayer. And then when it changed his voice, it was for the fear factor. It was trying to manifest to something beastly and talk to me in a beastly voice or scary voice, demonic voice. But I didn't focus on that. I just focused on my prayer, having that connection with the Heavenly Father. That's how I was able to overcome it through Jesus Christ through prayer. Or the Ouija board is just something that they use to enter your home without you even having to invite them in your house, inside your house, because it's a portal. So you can have crosses inside your home to protect on your windows, on your doorways. But once you bring the board in there and you use it inside your house, well, it's got free entry to be in your home because you invited it just by opening it up and messing with it. That's an invitation already by itself. But I burned it. I just followed what my heart was telling me, my spirit was telling me is to get rid of it. I burned the bird, got rid of the board, it basically destroyed the portal. But then the demon showed itself to me. Uh, but I believe that day was one of the first spiritual battles that I won through Jesus Christ against the demonic force. Even though I've seen him two other times after that, I told you that he said that when Jesus Christ is not there, that he's going to be there. I ran into it two other times. I'm talking about the manifestation of that man. I ran into it two other times, and they would just laugh at me. The demon, it will show itself to me when you least expected it. Uh, the I'll give you another story when it showed itself again. This this is like a year later. Year later. Um, my hairs are standing up just talking about this, yo. I'm at this park called the Roadside Park, and I'm with my aunt and her children, my little cousins. and we're popping fireworks, right? We're popping fireworks, and I'm messing around with some red ant hills, and we're popping them, and we're popping the black cats for hours, bottle rockets. So then they finish popping the fireworks, and my aunt takes me, drops me off at the house. So, I get to the house because I'm not feeling well. I feel like my stomach is hurting. So when my stomach is hurting, I go to sleep. Asleep. When I wake up, I see my mother like this, with her hands open, and I go like this, and it's just the neighbor's light. And I was like, whoa, I'm hallucinating, and I don't know why I'm hallucinating. And then when I turn on my bed, right there beside me, you could see like a dark shadow with white eyes, and you could see teeth. And it's just going like this. You could see nothing but ants all over it, like ants all over the body. And he's standing in there looking at me in the room. I get up real slowly, and he's just looking at me. He's like this. So it's like, okay, I'll go outside. I'm not feeling well, and I feel something right here. So I lift my shirt up, and it was an ant. A red ant was on me since the roadside part. So he had been putting its, I guess, its venom or whatever in me. So I go to my neighbor's house, knock on the door. Nobody answers, and I'm like all out of it. Have a fever. So I'm gonna go across the street because I'm saying I'm just hallucinating. I'm trying to go as I'm going across the street, I see it standing on the entrance, on the doorway, blocking in front of the door, and he's just moving around and going like this. And I said, just my imagination. I'm hallucinating. So I start walking down the street. When I look back, he's standing by the gate, and he's the same, just a dark figure, and he's doing the same thing, and he's laughing. It's like literally laughing at me. So I say, okay, it's the poison from the red ants. So I walk down the block. As I'm walking down my block, there's a black cat that passes right in front of me. So I ignored it. I say it's just coincidental. I go like this down the street and take another block because I'm walking to my aunt's house. So I'm walking down the block. Another black cat passes right in front of me. So that's two black cats that passed in front of me. So as I'm walking the next block, another black cat passes in front of me. There's a dark shadow figure with the teeth and the eyes, with looks like it's got ants. Three black cats pass in front of me. And I said to myself, it's just coincidental. So as there's an area where you cross, and it's like a cross because the jail is there. When I get in the center of the road, right in the center of the road of that cross, that guy shows up. The guy on the 10-speed bike with the black pants and the white shirt, and is doing circles around me. And he's laughing. And he said, I told you I would be here. And he's laughing and laughing, going in circles around me. So, I was like, I'm like running, I start running because I'm like, man, the fever, and I'm seeing these things, and it's like, and I'm looking back, and, I don't know where it went. So I'm running. I said, maybe just my imagination, that the fever is making me imagine this guy a long time ago, a year ago. So I run and I'm not seeing him, and I was in track, and I make it to my aunt's house. I jump the fence, and I go to her doorsteps, and I'm banging on the door, and she opens the door, and she said, "What's going on?" I said, "The ant bit me, and I think I have a poison, and I have a fever." So she touched me, and I was burning hot. And she said, come in, mijo, come in." So she told me to lay down on the couch, and she grabbed me some garlic, right? Ajo, garlic. She told me to eat it. So I think I ate like 2 or 3 ajos. Tasted nasty, but she said it will help because it will make me sweat out the poison out of my system. And I was telling her what had happened about the guy, in the black in the white shirt, black pants. And she's like, "No, mijo, it's just it's el veneno, the poison, is making you hallucinate." Then one of my cousins is like, "Mom, I don't think," he said, "I don't think he's hallucinating, Mom." And I said, "Why you said that, Mel?" Because the person that he's talking about is right there outside her gate. When she went to go look, he was standing outside the gate, and he started laughing. He was outside her gate, like knew where I was at. And my aunt said, "Ay Maria Purísima." She said, "Holy Mary, Mother of God," and she started going into prayer. Uh, my cousins started going into prayer too with her, because they seen it too. So I stayed there overnight, and then the following day is when I was able to make it home back because the poison had left my body. But I'm just letting you know that when you brush against something like that, and me, I was trying to, because I know I had a fever, so I'm saying maybe it's just me. But when other people that don't have the fever and they're seeing it, it's because it's spiritual real, or it's a manifestation that it takes, right? Yes. So I'm sharing the story with y'all, brothers and sisters. I remember how it looked. I mean, I had a spiritual battle against it. I just seen the human manifestation of it. But when the car passed, I could see, you could say, the like a ripper or death, because it was like a skull and it had a snake coming out of his eye. Demonic in nature. Yes, all my life, I'm just sharing my testimony with y'all. Why a Ouija board is evil. I just burned it just to protect my sister, to keep it away from her, because I seen what had happened to her. It wasn't her. There's something else was within my sister. Once I burned the Ouija board, my sister became normal. But then it came to challenge me because I burnt it. Remember when I told you that that I challenged it to show itself to me? Well, guess what? It did. So don't challenge it to show itself to you. Just tie binary beacon in Jesus Christ's name. That's one thing that I've learned. Don't challenge anything. Just tie binary beacon in Jesus Christ's name. Because they're going to see that as a spiritual opening if you challenge it. Especially if you're not ready to fight it spiritually, right? The only reason I did that is because the condition of my sister, how she was acting. I wanted her to focus on me, and which she did. But I was able to fight against it spiritually. My sister remembers everything that happened that day. Well, not what happened to her that day of when I burned the board, but what happened afterward. Uh, when she went out there to pray with me, she remembers that. And that was interesting. I've messed with one I made from a piece of paper, and we used to quarter. Great advice, Abe. Call out Jesus' name. Yes. Uh, if a person is dabbling in the dark arts, summoning demons, doing cult symbols, and they're practicing the dark arts, if the demons come, or the tormentors come, should I say, there'll be nothing left out of that individual. Disembodied parts everywhere. It kind of reminds you of Hellraiser, right? When they be messing with a cube, they come and the person gets shredded. That could happen, especially if the person that's doing it is believing in it, and they're messing with it because they're trying to gain some kind of power. If they only knew that the demons hate us, and the only thing they're interested in is our souls. So how would they get to your soul? Destroy your vessel, destroy your body. Yes, I'm glad we've been troll free. Uh, that's pretty awesome. Troll free for an hour. Maybe somebody talked to him and say, "Hey, leave him alone. He's a good guy. He's just trying to do his own thing," you know. And he backed up, you know. No, I'm not even worried about the countdown on him. I was just trying to help him out spiritually. Everybody needs spiritual help. Yes. So that's a story I want to share, and of course, there's a lot of people that were dabble with the black, Ouija boards and the black magic books. I knew people in school when I was in elementary messing with that, dressing all in black, saying that they learned those traits from their mothers, which they say that their mother were witches, dark witches. Crazy. Imagine I'm in school and everybody's playing softball. We're playing softball, and I'm the only one that's seeing the woman that's standing by the fence, dressed in white, that's crying. You know, People want to call her La Llorona, and I'm the only one that sees her, and nobody else is seeing her, and she's right by the fence. There was only one person that I know of that's seen her, and that person was a Vietnam vet, which was my coach, Coach Ali Mendiola. I was out there and she was calling me to go to the fence. She was crying, standing by the fence. She was in a white gown, and she had her hand on the fence like this, and she was like crying, kind of like a siren, right? And I'm going to where she's crying, and I hear the coach yells my name, and he says, "Get away from her! Come here!" He's yelling at me, "Come here!" And he's way out there, but he's yelling real loud. So I go running to him. He said, "Get in my room." He's had a little pier room, and he said, "Don't you ever get near her again. That's something evil. Don't you ever get near her again. You hear me?" He's seen her, so he was spiritually gifted also. But all the other people that were there, they couldn't see her. They didn't even know she was by the fence crying. Well, there was a canal that's right there where she would appear. Uh, right by where by the elementary, there was a water source, and that's where she would there was a woods and a water source, and she was always roaming around the fence. She was she wouldn't come into the land across the fence, but she would stay on the outside of the fence. How you doing? If I would take Zach Baggins to those areas that I'm talking about, to the Elms Grove or to where I go, he wouldn't last. Zach Baggins wouldn't last on those areas. He would get demonized. I'm being honest with y'all. You would literally get attacked. A lot of the shows on TV, they're staged. You know, they do it for the viewership. You know, they do a lot of things that you're not supposed to do. For example, get scared. You're not supposed to get scared because fear is a spiritual opening. Or get mad. Get mad with the spirits or the demons that are around. That's a spiritual opening. I don't think, I mean, I don't watch the show, honestly, but when I did watch it a couple of times, a long time ago, I never seen them fight spiritually like, call upon Jesus Christ, stop by and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. So I figured it was just for the money, you know. I think because of him, a lot of shows got canceled because he wanted to be the only one in power. I'm kind of glad he went to a different channel than where it was at. But you know, who want to keep something that's haunted? It's kind of like me keeping a piece of the Ouija board, that I burnt after going through what I went through, and keeping a piece of the Ouija board. That's crazy, right? Why would I keep a piece of the Ouija board? I'm just saying that, yeah, it's staged, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know there's people that like them, but I just, me personally, I've been doing this all my life since I was a kid. I've battled with the balance. Uh, to me, it's not about. I'm just doing my spiritual works, trying to help out people truthfully. I'm just being honest that the way he is, he wouldn't last in the areas that I go spiritually because I walk with the love foundation. I place Jesus Christ first. He don't. There's other shows where they say, let's talk to my psychic, let's talk to my medium, let's talk to my clairvoyant. Come on. Why do you have to talk to your medium or clairvoyant, they're not going to help you because they're tainted themselves. Uh, Beelzebub cannot cast out Beelzebub. No, they're tainted themselves just because they're believing that they have some kind of abilities, which they could have abilities. It's just if you use them properly with the love foundation through Jesus Christ, that's the only way those works are going to work. Because you have to have the love foundation. But him personally, he will get attacked in the areas that I go and investigate, where there's a lot of activity. So Mr. Zach, what's his name? Zach. You know, I mean, I don't want nothing to happen to the guy. So just stay doing your shows the way you do them, that they're staged, because you don't want to go to a real place where there's real activity, uh, especially here in Texas, in Central Texas. He wouldn't last. I would have to literally try to bail him out to to cast a demon that most likely will drain his energy or possess him, possess a guy. I used to have I don't know y'all remember this. I had an open invitation uh, for Elms Grove because there was a lot of people talking smack, and I said, okay, come to Elms Grove. So I'll take you there personally. I'm not living there no more, but I'll take you. Says, don't come during the day. Even though there's activity during the day, at nighttime. You want to see this dark shadow beings? Come at nighttime. The thing is, if the person has a spiritual opening, they're not just going to see him. They're going to come to him and attack. That's what they do. They're in that area. They're very territorial. It's kind of like what happened to the woman in the vehicle. You know, when they surrounded her vehicle, it's like, man, why are they interested in her? You know, they never. I mean, yeah, I would see them all the time, but the way they surrounded her vehicle, they were going around. And I got up and started praying. When she took off, they all took off after her. And I asked her if she had a spiritual opening, what would it be? If she was angry, hatred, or had unforgiveness. And he said, yeah, I have unforgiveness and I have a lot of hatred. And I wish my husband would be dead. My ex-husband would be dead. That's why they followed her. They seen her as and she had all those spiritual openings. So they wanted to eliminate her. You know, they wanted to take her out because she had all those openings. Like I said, they dislike mankind because the only thing they're interested is to get rid of the vessel to collect the soul. She said she will never go to that area again, ever. And I said, well, I suggest you forgive, and that forgive as God for forgiveness and repent for your sins. Because you're living in this area in Central Texas, they're all around us. Right, cousin Jesse. Buenas noches. Yeah. I mean, sometimes success gets to people's heads, To me, it's not about success or anything. I just like helping people out. I do my own little podcast here. For those who tune in, y'all know what I'm about. You might hear me say the same things over and over, and I try to get more proof, but it's like, man, I think I've had enough proof to show everybody the things that are around us spiritually. I've been staying away from that area, man. Ever since last time, it's like I've been staying away. Not that I'm afraid. It's just I ain't ready to go back to the area. Your spirit will let you know when your spirits are ready. I just ain't ready to go back and go through the same things where you're putting yourself out there. I'm putting myself out there on the line to get evidence, right? But for what? Because in a lot of the people that I'm trying to awaken spiritually, they hate the works that I do, because I really capture spiritual evidence of the unseen war. This DDN, Legion, shadow spirits, whatever. I capture that. I mean, you've seen the portal that I captured, uh, and it's just I captured so many things that I think I've put enough evidence out there that I've proved my point of the things that are around us. But maybe one day I'll go back. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I know my cousin Jesse wanted to come visit, to go with me. The only thing I would say is for him to be spiritual ready, because I'll take him to a hot spot where there's a lot of activity. Here in Central Texas, there used to be a lot of natives that used to live, the Tonka ones. And a lot of the Tonka ones, there's a lot of shadow spirits, shapeshifter skinwalkers. Yeah, a lot of those things, man, it's kind of like for show. I believe it's for show, because you can get rid of something negative that's on anything. When you pray against a person that might have an ugly spirit, or could be possessed, and you say, I type on rebuke in Jesus Christ's name, and the demon flees. Same thing with a cursed object. It might have something, but if you pray against it, you put some holy water on or something, you can get rid of the cursed item. But normally, those items have an attachment on them. That's what it is. But a lot of things, they do it for show. There is ghost, naval ships. The one that's in Corpus Christi has all kinds of paranormal activity. I mean, is a ship because of sailors that used to be there, or is it because there's the ocean, and down there in Corpus Christi there's a lot of limestone? So is it the activity of the paranormal activity happening from the limestone? Because limestone is a conductor for a lot of energy. Some of those shows that they do, they go ghost hunting over there in Arizona, New Mexico, those ghost towns. A lot of limestone on the ground. That brings up the paranormal activity, because of the energy of the sun on the limestone. At nighttime, the surface is up. That's why people catch a lot of activity, creeks and lakes, because of the limestone that's there. Yes, in Corpus. Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of death. At the same time, the Tonka ones here in Central Texas, they were cannibalistic. cannibalistic. They were not into crops. They were meat eaters, hunters. They worked with the U.S. calf when it was in horse regiments, and the Tonka ones were used as scouts to go find other natives that were wanted, Apaches, Comanches. That's so they were, you know, uh, Apache, Comanche. I think were in the area. I don't know about Cherokee, but Comanche and Apache were. So they would use them to go capture whoever was wanted. When they would capture them, this Tonka ones natives, they would kill them. Some of them they would kill them. You know, some back in the days they had some wanted dead or alive, but when they would kill them, they would cannibalize them. They would eat their heart or eat them. You know, cook them. They were like warriors, but they were cannibalizing off the human flesh. In which there's a lot of shapeshifter skinwalkers, and there's also Wendigo, right? Wendigo. But what happened is the Apaches and the Comanches, and I think there was another tribe that got together and they came hunting them. They found them here in Central Texas, and they started downsizing the population by killing them. It was so bad of a genocide that the U.S. Cav had to intervene since they worked with them, and they got the remainder of the Tonka ones and moved them to Oklahoma. When they were in Oklahoma, they started doing the same thing over there, killing people, cannibalizing people. So the governor from over there said, "We're not having that over here." So he sent them back to Central Texas. When they came back to Central Texas, the Comanche and Apache and the other, I can't remember the other name of the other tribe, were waiting for them. So they started massacring them. So the governor intervened again. The last two places that they went to when they moved them from Texas was Arizona, New Mexico. What do all those places got in common? Oklahoma, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico. Shapeshifter skinwalkers. There you go. Shapeshifter skinwalkers. In Texas, I know I got a little bit off the subject, but yes, there's a lot of activity. The oldest excavation site, you can look it up, is in Salado, Texas. They discovered it a couple of years ago. The oldest excavation site around the world of the oldest natives was here in Central Texas. That's how old it goes back. Yes, brujeria. I mean, when they can shapeshift to look like different animals, yeah, magic, sorcery and magic. I heard a story of Belton Lake. There was this old lady telling me this story. She had blessed me with a fossil. She was in a wheelchair. She was already very old. She told me that one of the Dallas Cowboys players from back in the day was the one that did the Belton Lake, the lakes here. They said that when they were digging, that's why she had those fossils, and she gave me one. She said that when they were digging, you know, that they found a cave. When they went into the cave, that they found like a location in the cave where there was like an altar, but up in the cave was a statue of a of an eagle. So when they built the lake and the water, got full, well, the cave went underwater. But basically, even on Fort Hood, there's a mountain range where you can't go on there. No soldiers allowed to go on there, and it's being protected by MPs 24 hours a day. There's an MP guarding that site because it's all native Indian burial ground areas. A lot of cemeteries up there. You're welcome, Sister Neva's Angel. I know I'm going a little bit out of context here because I've seen people talking about the guy with the thick glasses that look like Coca-Cola, but what's his name? Zach. Uh, they're talking about this little things that they do it for show. To them, it's about dinero. So if you see something on the show, so, oh, remember that show episode? I know he's been doing this for a long time. Probably like episode 535 or probably more episodes that they've done. I don't know. That they have something from the episode and they got it as a little museum, as a souvenir. And see people paid to go see this haunted items. I have a riddle was dating a Wiccan, and he says she's a good person. I'm just praying for both of them. He's Catholic, and why is he with a witch? Well, uh, there, there, there is witches within the Catholic Church, brujas, brujos, because that's how it was created. If you go back in the day of Julius Caesar and all of them, the Roman Catholics, were friends with the pagans. And you know what the pagans did? Those rituals, and they would sacrifice people. They would bleed them out on top of the mountain, and they would burn their bodies. They were sacrificing to their gods. And the Roman Catholics were friends with the pagans. So that's where you get the brujeria from. And not just brujeria, but blood sacrifices. I remember when the first time that I heard about a pagan, it was late at night. I was in the military. I was pulling CQ. And I was watching PBS station because they had no cable, so it was just a PBS, and it was an old film. You know how they record them with the old recorders, and they said the pagans. I'm like, what the hell is the pagans? And they just showed like a mountain. Then I started seeing the film, and it's kind of like it happened for a reason for me to understand how every level of the mountain they had to do a ritual to every level before they go up to the highest point of the mountain. That's when they get rid of the body. They freaking bleed them out. After they bleed them out, they have markings on the ground like pentagrams, circular, where the blood goes. Then they grab the body after they bleed them out and burn the body. And the Romans were friends of the Catholic, of the pagans. So when you say, why would it be a friend with a witch? Well, the Roman Catholics are friend with the pagans. There you go. When they created the church and the Crusades, they were trying to bring anybody to become a member of the Roman Catholic Church. So that's why they have statues. They have different saints, different angels. So anybody can come and worship what they believe in. That's why there's a lot of activity within the Catholic Church of shadow spirit. I know that could be anywhere, but they have a lot of activity. But in all honesty, people are people, right? It just depends uh, what kind of a soul a person has. If they have I mean, you said a witch. Is she a good witch or a bad witch? I mean, a witch is a witch. The difference is some do good, uh, where they're considered curanderas, you know, white magic. That's what they call it, to fight the black magic. And then you got the evil witches. They do they're dark witches that they sold their souls and they do the evil works. So, which one? What kind of witch is she? Somebody said about a witch here. Who was it? It was, maybe I read it wrong. So I have a relative who is dating a Wiccan. There we go. I'm just here to tell you that those entities that were out there in the woods in Elms Grove, they attacked the they attacked the Wiccan. That I had to go into prayer and save that Wiccan guy. Literally had to get him out of the woods because it had possessed his body. His eyes rolled back white, and he was taking him into the darkness. I did the sign of the cross, and I went in there, got him, picked him up, and was praying, and I got him into safety. If I wouldn't have done that, only God knows what would have happened to him. No, I'm just saying that the Wiccan, right? Because he said he could close the portal. That's what he said. He got demonically attacked in there, and me, since I have faith in Jesus Christ, I'm the one that want to go save him and got him out of there. If I wouldn't have done that, I don't know what would have happened to the guy. He was just ready for that occasion of what was there. I mean, I literally had to pick him up. He got all his energy drained. He was seeing all the things that I would see, and he was banging. He lost it. He went kind of crazy there for a little bit. You know, he was just wasn't ready to go to the location. You know, because they're not gonna call upon Jesus Christ to assist them. That's why he got attacked that way. Me, on the other hand, I always walk with the Love Foundation, and I always place Jesus Christ first for whatever works I do. Right, when I'm doing the good works. I knew a lot. I knew soldiers that were Wiccan, and uh, there were that I knew that were Wiccan. That said they were Wiccan. I said, what is a Wiccan? Some people call them tree huggers. You know, um, that's what they were. That's what their worship is in the woods. But man, it messed up, right? The worship of the things in the woods were Mother Nature, but then the things that are within Mother Nature attack them. Like what happened to that guy? He said his mother was a Wiccan witch, and that he was learning. She was showing him things, right? But he got attacked. His body got literally possessed. That I had to go into the woods, grab him, lift him, and carry him to safety. If I wouldn't have done that, I don't know what would have happened to the guy in there, man. I mean, he had already taken over his body, so only God knows what could have happened to the guy. How you doing, Sister Beatrice? My sister remembers. You remember, sis, when all those people will come and to visit because they wanted to investigate, and then he said when they leave, they were all scared. She remembers because she was living with me. Uh, when all those army people will come because Bill's sister will bring them. They will bring some Wiccans and all this stuff, and they will get attacked there. And I had to literally pick them up, take them to safety, and they will leave and they wouldn't come back. There you go. She remembers. And I'll tell my sister, sis, I don't want to take them there. They're gonna get messed up. And they were like, first they didn't believe me. That was the thing. They were like, we just think it's in your imagination. There's nothing there. Blah blah blah. They're out there on the park bench. The sun's already setting. Then you hear somebody laughing out of the woods. They look at each other. Sounds like a woman sometimes. Sometimes sounds like a man. And the laugh is very ugly, and it echoes through the park. So then they're like, "Well, I'm a Wiccan. I'm not afraid." I said, "Man, please don't go over there." No, I'm gonna go shut down the portal right now. So look, I've been fighting spiritually, and I believe in Jesus Christ. Don't go over there, man. You're not ready for what's there. Because they were there because they didn't believe me. But then when they heard that, they were like, "Oh shoot!" They went there, and there he goes there. He takes like 4 steps into the path, and he's standing still like this in the path. He turns around, and he's standing still. His eyes roll back white. He smiles, and he starts taking them into the darkness. And everybody's like freaked out, and I go in there after him. I said, "Come here." And he's taking them deeper into the woods. So I start praying to Our Father, and I run a little bit, and I grab him. And I'm sensing all the activity that's in there because it's around me. I'm hearing growls and all kinds of stuff. And I start praying, praying to Our Father. I pick him up, and I'm taking him, take him out of the path. But then this guy, as I get him out of there, he's, when something possesses you, you lose all your energy. So that's what happened. I put him on the ground. He had no energy to walk, to get up. He was having problems breathing. He was hallucinating, seeing the things that I would see. I feel bad. But, I mean, it wasn't my fault, I wasn't inviting anybody to come there at the time. It was people that wanted to prove a point to me that this is a point they're trying to prove. That what was happening in Elms Grove was just a figment of my imagination. They found out otherwise. That they found out that I was speaking the truth. They would take off like they'll be like in 3, 4 cars, and they'll be hauling ass out of there, out of the park. Oh, it was good for them that they would haul ass and leave, but we still had to remain there and stay there. And it's like I would have to pray that night because the things that were there would be pissed off because people come into the territory. So who are they going to try to come after? To me, And I was like, it's like don't bring nobody over here no more. They were come. They brought somebody that was a what do you call them? A person that can. We're talking about yesterday. A person that can come out of their body in spirit. Or what are they called? A traveler or spirit traveler or something like that. They brought this girl from California that she said it was in her family. She was in the army too, and she was talking there. The sun was still out. She would say, "I can close the portals that are here. This is what I do." Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Look, I already had one Wiccan I had to carry out of there. Don't be saying things too loud here because they're listening." And they'll be like, "Don't worry about it. I'll close the portal." Yeah, astro project, astral travel. So once the sun set, he said, "Take me to the location." She wanted to go there in the darkness. I said, "Okay, let's go." I went there, and it's a you go straight, and then it turns to the curves to the left, and there's a canopy of trees like this. I said, "I'm going to stay right here. You say you do this for a living. I'm going to point you. It's that ways. I'll tell you when to stop because she wanted to go for me to take her to where I witnessed this werewolf-like beings. So I stood in the path and I told her right there. She said, "Okay." So she's turning around, not even 10, 15 seconds. She says, "Oh my God, what is that?" And then next thing you know, she's running down the path, like hauling ass. And as she's running out of the woods, this giant red orb came out, started chasing her. She passed, and the giant red orb passed right in front of me. So I said, "Okay, let me get out of here." So I'm walking out of the press, and I'm protecting myself. I'm praying all the time in there. I'm praying the Our Father because I already know what can happen. So as I'm walking, I found her in the entrance of the path. She's laid out, and I looked at her. She had no energy. I think that time I went there, I had a walking stick, so I couldn't pick her up because I had a blood clot in my left leg. So the other two females that were there with her, that were in the military, they picked her up, and she had bumps all over her face, her body, her arms, her legs. Had no energy. They carried her all the way to the street, and the same thing happened to her. She starts seeing the shadow spirits and the things that I will witness, and she's freaking out. She's scared, and they put her in the vehicle, and they take off. I think that was the last time that they ever came back. The last time they ever came back. They stopped bringing people to investigate that area. And what's sad is this, that they were still in the army, so they were going to have to train in the woods there on Fort Hood, in which the same activity that was in Elms Grove is on Fort Hood also, because of there's native Indian burial grounds on the mountain ranges up there. So there was already exposed to that. So basically what I'm saying, they were going to be a target, easy target for those uh, dark spirits. My sister remembers. Uh, I wasn't afraid, I couldn't show no fear, even though I could see the manifestations, the beastly manifestations, or I could see what seemed to be a witch, the shapeshifter skinwalker, the werewolf. What people want to call dogmen, we know them as werewolves. Natives know them as lycanthropes. I would see them. And then there was a bruja that lived the next block uh, to us. She was Wiccan, I believe, and she had nothing but flowers all around her house. She came out of those woods one day. I was, yeah, I was. We had come out of the pool. Me and my son were walking home, and I seen somebody peeking behind a tree, like this, and hid behind the tree. Then I seen her walking with looked like a white flower, like an orchid. She hides behind another tree. Then she looks at me and hides behind the tree. And I was like, man, she's not that good of a hider like the Bigfoot is. Because they said that the Bigfoot is a master of hide and go seek. Well, she's not doing a good job out of it. But she was acting weird. She was going from tree to tree, doing the peekaboo at me, hiding behind the tree. And I stayed there looking at her till she walked by me. She looked all pale from the face, and she went into her house. She was dressed all in black. I believe what was doing that, yeah, it was her, but I believe it was the spirits, the unclean spirits that lived there, that you could say, she went out there with the orchid as giving it as a gift or whatever to whatever's there in the woods, and you could say it attached itself to her. That's what she was acting weird. The portals that could be in the woods is another kind of portal. Y'all know, we know about the throwing of the rocks. We know about the wood being in certain locations to cover certain path to let you know that that's Bigfoot territory. And I'll do it like this: Bigfoot territory. Well, there's one thing that I don't talk about is the circle of rock formation that's in the form of a circle. That could be like a portal also. The rock formation that's placed like a circle. Have you seen the show reel where there's a portal there? Well, when they place a rock formation, the natives, the Tonka ones, a rock formation or a circle, it was for two reasons they would do that. One, if a person was sick, they would place the person in the middle of in the circle, and the only one that could enter the circle was a shaman, in which he had to dress in his garments. Some of the shamans that had masks of animals and things of that nature, and they go into the circle to pray for the sick. Another time that we use that circle formation is when a person was dying, to help them cross over. So it'd be another reason that there would be a circle formation. It's kind of like an opening or a spiritual portal. So I was running to rock formations like that. One evening I was walking, and I was already tired from the night before, so I said, you know what? I think I walked like 100 feet, The airport was there, and I said, I'm just going to go back home and relax because my legs are hurting. I turn back and I'm walking and I see something in the road. And I just barely walked through there and I'm looking and there's like a lot of things in the road. So as I get closer, there was a lot of big rocks in a circle formation that were placed in the road. So it's like I'm looking at that and it's like, hey, who's messing with me? I'm trying to figure out is anybody out there, but nobody was coming out. Nobody came out of the woods or anything. So there's a circle formation. I didn't know at that time. I didn't know what that meant. I mean, I was sick. I had a blood clot on my leg, so I felt that when they did that was for me to enter that circle. Not to, I guess, for healing or whatever. I didn't go into the circle. There's a different kind of circle. We're talking about portals where, when I told you about the Comanches and the Apaches were coming to kill the Tonka ones, they were killing them. That some of these families didn't want to die in the hands of the enemy, right? So they will make a circle formation of them holding hands, the family holding their hands, and since they were going to be dead, they were going to be killed. The head of the household will slit the wrist of all the family members, including themselves. So they will hold hands till they bled to death in that circle formation. So when the sun will rise, out of the spilled blood of that, whenever all those family member dies holding hands, they said when the sun will rise, the one would rise, which will be like a dark spirit, dark shadow. They would call it a demigod, and it was demonic, and it was like kind of like a curse, to go after the people that made them do that. So this demigod or demon, should I say, had the ability to shapeshift and manifest to out of Mother Nature itself. Leaves, trees, rock formation, you name it. Whatever you can think of that's within the woods, that it can manifest itself from Mother Nature itself. So that's another different kind of portal, which is a sacrifice portal of blood, where the one would rise. And if you see the portal that's on that tree line makes me wonder what really happened there. The short reel, for those who haven't seen it, check out the short reel where I'm standing, and behind me, above in the trees, there's a round portal. How would there be a round portal there? It's crazy, but it's there. Did people die there? Did people get hung on the trees to form a circle of a portal? I don't know. All I know, there's a portal there. And I believe that's why there's a lot of activity in that area. Yeah, you can back out. It's the latest short reel, the most current one. So it's going to be the one on top of the list. The first short reel is the one I created. I have a red shirt. I think it's a Texas Ranger shirt on. And you can see the portal behind me. So I'm just discussing with you of, since we're talking about Ouija boards, fortune tellers, portals or and those kind of things like that, and that when somebody does a seance, that's another thing I want to talk. They do a seance, and they color out a circle and they put their little symbols in there. That's another way, kind of like a Ouija board, but they're summoning something to appear in there, right? So that's what I'm trying to compare. The thing with the natives that they would do with the rock formations or the blood sacrifices, how they would summon things to come out, which is they're kind of like a curse on the land. Oh, did you see it? Oh, she's gonna go check it out. Yeah, go check it out, uh, goddess. Blood sacrifices, yes. And if if they were being taught witchcraft or necromancy here in Central Texas or wherever they move to, that means that that they have the abilities, since they know about the witchcraft or necromancy, to leave portals open, right? So if they're in spirit form, they can uh, travel through those portals to different locations. If you really look close, you could see something up there coming out of the portal. On the very top, you could see a face of something coming out of the portal. Uh, I used to have a lot more pictures, but when my regular group that had all the pictures, positive pictures, I lost a lot of things. But uh, I've tried to look through Google search, but it doesn't. For some reason, that area I can't go into the park and look. It won't let me go into that location and look. I can only go around that land, but it won't let me go onto the land to investigate. Well, this circle is like this. It's not like this. It's like that. It's weird. It's weird. You can see the round circle. If you really look, what I'm gonna do. I always say I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna show you what's coming out of the portal. You know. How you doing, Sister Julia J? Yeah, it's different from the trees. It's not the trees. There is something coming out of the portal though, like a a manifestation of something is coming out of there. What I'll do is I'll show you what's coming out of the portal. I can see it. It's an old picture. It's like sometimes I just don't like looking into the old pictures because I remember what I went through there, the experiences. There's times that I do want to stop by and just to check it out one more time. There was a lady there one day. I stopped by. She had her children. Three of her children with her, walking into those woods. And I said, ma'am, I used to live here before. I recommend you don't come into this area. Don't let your kids play by themselves here because there's activity here. So, and she was telling me that she's always going into that area because there's just something about it that fascinates her. Yeah, when you're taking your own kids in there, there's something gonna happen. I heard somebody told me that there was a lady with her kids that got hit by a vehicle. I just don't know if it was her. There's a lot of hot spots there, all throughout that area of the mobile home park, the airport, and the golf course, and all the land around there. A lot of activity. Where is what? Did you see the? Check out the short reel, Sister Julia. I don't know if you've seen it or not. It's the short reel I placed today, the most current one. I named the title of uh, the portal above my head, behind me, and I said the path in Elm's Grove. That's the title. Go check it out and tell me what you think. I look younger there in that picture, in which I was younger. I think I was like, I don't know, like 40, 42. I don't know, probably younger, in my 30s. No, let me see. I was probably like already 45, somewhere around there. I don't know. 47, 45, 46. Just put it this way. I had little cameras, cheap cameras that I would buy, or cell phones from that I would buy from Family Dollar and Dollar General. And I would take pictures with it of when I would hear a growl or a noise, and I would capture some crazy stuff in those pictures. Demons. It was so they were so freaked out in the pictures that I didn't want to take the camera to the house, and I would break the camera, break the, I would break the whatever was in the camera. You know, the that keeps a record of the camera. I get rid of it. Normally the cameras would crack, or the lenses would crack and get broken, and the batteries would blow up. I mean, the batteries would literally blow up out of the camera. Yeah, I would do a lot of EVPs and growlings, sounding like a army of demons, where they're they're getting ready for spiritual battle, and you could hear them saying all kinds of things in a different language. I would catch the sounds of a lot of growlings or bad words being said to me. Yeah, my sister, she remembers I would say, hey, check it out, and play the her little EVP recorder. You know, I would just go there to record with till I started recording with my phone also, but I had little voice recorders, and I go record. Yeah, there was one that was right beside me. He had his mouth open, and he had layers of teeth. It was a little one. His mouth you could see the demon face, and his mouth were full of teeth, like rows of teeth. And that freaked me out. I said, screw this. I ain't taking this home. And I got rid of it. I don't know how many cameras I would buy. I'll just get rid of them. Because when like I said, the batteries will blow up, or I even took a good camera there. Same thing. The lens cracked on it, and the battery blew up in it. That's how bad of a paranormal activity was in there. Scratches, uh, bruises. I was getting hit by an unseen force. I had like big welts on the back, center of my back, scratches on my back, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of people that lost their lives there, brothers and sisters. By the way, uh, we had how many neighbors passed away? The German lady behind us passed away. The Philippine lady in the blue house passed away. Miss Kim passed away. Okay, that's two, three. The old man in the RV beside Miss Kim passed away. Another Oriental lady up the street passed away. The man that his brother had passed away before him, then he passed away, which is seven. Plus the Puerto Rican lady that would go borrow get cigarettes from my sister. She passed away. It's eight people that I'm just counting. Uh, the security lady that guarded that area passed away also. That's nine. Uh, she would tell me that there was something out there, that she would see the shadow spirits and other things that are out there when she'd be patrolling at nighttime. So that's nine. See, the young kid that got demonized by something. They killed uh, a man and a woman and two strippers. That's 10, 11 to 13, and they were buried in the land near the woods. The man that owned a house that will sell, he had antique weapons. He got murdered. That's 14. The people that live down the center of Elms Grove, a family of three, the house blew up. So that's 17. Accidents that happened on those roads. A lot of accidents that people died in that area. We'll say like 21, 22, 23, the count, because there's been a lot of people that died down that road. And it's all because of the activity that's there. All those neighbors we lost, 13. That night, the one that was, she would always come to my sister and ask her for cigarettes. My sister told her she didn't have no cigarettes, so the lady said that she was going to cut through the woods and go to the corner store. That when she came back, I guess she said she would give my sister a cigarette or something like that. We're right there at the house, and then we just hear like sirens and all kinds of stuff. I remember I went out there. Uh, there's We're placing heavenly crosses on your sister from head to toe. We're placing heavenly crosses on the doorway, on the windows. We take authority over anything that's unclean or demonic in your household. You're not welcome to be there or to bother my sister. We tie, bind, and rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name. Leave now. This I pray in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. Somebody's doing some witchcraft, sister. I'm just telling you. Somebody's doing brujeria. I've seen somebody for 2-3 days, and that person that I seen that's doing the brujeria is somebody that we know from our past, and I call her Evil Lynn. She's the one that's doing the brujeria. You know, I can see spiritually when somebody's trying to do something wrong. It's been her for about 3 days now. Somebody's doing brujeria. I don't know if I had gone visit Lupita when I went over there on Saturday to get some pills for my dogs. But yeah, that's what I dreamt. I was doing some witchcraft. So I prayed against her. Yeah, don't, if you hear something, if you hear something, don't even go outside, just pray against it. But I know somebody's doing something, and it's gotta be somebody's dabbling in something. That's all I can tell you. I prayed against it. Yes, it's been happening to me for about 3-4 days now. Let me see. It was Saturday, Sunday, and Monday for 3 days. Yes, they can have. Of There was a thrift store where we lived. I would go buy things there, like toys for my son. There was a little music box. It had a ballerina in it. It looked brand new, like it was old, and it played like three different songs. So I said, man, that's pretty cool. I never had nothing like this. I bought it for like around $7. I took it home and I had it on the dresser, and I know my sister heard the music. I think I played the little songs that it was playing. So that night I put it on my dresser. I winded it up, and I was falling asleep and it was playing music. I wake up, it's kind of like those, what do you call it? Pesadillas, or those night terrors, where your spirit is, you think you're awake, but you're not. I could see the room, the light, the little music box, but right beside me was an Oriental lady. Her face was all white with bright red lipstick, and she had that little ponytail with a thing on her head, and she was just smiling at me. And when I woke up out of that dream, started tie binding, rebuking, praying against it. I put the little music box in a bag, closed it up. Following day, I take it back to the thrift store. I say, hey, I brought this item back. I'm not trying to get a refund or nothing. Y'all can keep this. I don't need this in my house. I wasn't saying why. So I go there because I'm buying something else for my son, and I'm paying for it. The music box comes flying from the shelf straight towards my face, but it loses the momentum and it drops right in front of me. The lady from the cash register said, "I guess somebody must not like you." Yeah, that's it. I said, "You can keep it." And like I said, that's where I brought it back because there was activity in my house last night. My sister, my sister were like, "Oh shit, here goes Abe." It's kind of like in our family, it's kind of divided because, like me and my sister, we can sense spiritually, see things spiritually. Uh, so there for a moment, people trying to figure out what's going on. It's all just in your imagination. But when people come and things happen to them, it's not our imagination. It's we're just trying to warn people. That's why I created this group, Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, to warn people of the what to do and what not to do. Hola, Sister Ivy Ramirez. ¿Cómo estás? Yeah, just a lot of things, man. The woman that would laugh from the woods, I seen her. She was like 5'4", probably shorter than that. I say no, not 5'4", probably like 4'9", 5 foot. Uh, the encounter I had with her was inside my home. I was asleep, and we always kept the little light in the kitchen on, so you know to have lighting, like to see the living room or whatever. It's just a little light, but it kept light. That day, I seen somebody because my door had a little crack, right? So I see somebody standing there, and they're looking through the crack of the door. And I said, "Is that you, Gaio?" So I get up, open the door, and I see somebody going around the cabinet doors. We have a sliding door. So when I go around the cabinet door, somebody's closing the sliding door. And I'm looking and they're looking at me. I was like, who is that? They look dark, just dark, like freaked out. So when I go open the door, by the time I open the door, they're already down the steps and they're going on the grass. So I run after it, trying to figure out who that is. So running after it, I noticed something. It's not running. It's gliding on top off the ground, like 2 foot off the ground. So I'm running after it, and I say, "Identify yourself." Next thing you know, it goes into a tree, like literally goes into a tree, and trying to figure out what's going on, and then goes from one tree to another, but then it'll come out of the tree. I mean, I can say it's a tree witch, but it had the ability to open and close doors, sliding doors. The manifestations that would take, they could do that. They could throw rocks. They could palm your home. My mama bone had all kinds of dents all over it. High dents, like 10 to 11 foot high. You could hear somebody running on top of the roof. Or a roof was made out of tin, so you could hear like going, like something running on top that's pretty heavy. When I would go check out the roof, it was all dented where something was running on top of it. Yeah, I think that's the one that was always laughing from the woods. Yeah, all the time. The ones that were witnessing that at the beginning was the Soto Primos. They said that they would hear running. They would see. They were said they were seeing Pan, which you know, because Pan, like a centaur. They were always trying to get him to come play outside. But that's because my uncle was dabbling. I believe he was dabbling in the dark arts. Portals were being opened. That's why there was activity happening. Do I watch horror movies? Yeah, Freddy Krueger, Friday the 13th. I mean, I can say a lot of horror movies. Uh, Amityville Horror. You got The Exorcist. Uh, what's the scariest horror movie that y'all seen? Since you're talking about horror movies. I think the craziest one that I ever witnessed that I think it affected a lot of people because it was dealing with possession was The Exorcist. Yeah, it is scarier because at least you know the horror movie is just a movie. But when you experience the things that you experience in real life, then you know that it's not a movie. That you, what are you going to do to overcome it? Yes, you're talking about The Craft. Well, there was another one besides The Craft. I think it was called Little Witches, where they're worshiping a the Leviathan, I think, or something something in the ocean, and that fish come and they die, or something in that nature. There was all kinds of witchcraft movies. Witchcraft number one all the way to 16 or something, or 12. All kinds of movies. Uh, Movies could be a spiritual opening also. Yeah, The Exorcist, that one right there. But now that you see it now, it's like, man, I was scared of that. But you know, it was the times, the technology, it changed so much. I would say The Exorcist, and the other one will be Evil Dead. Evil Dead, the first one, it was scary. When the saying, "We're gonna get you, we're gonna get you." Shining, The Shining with Jack Nicholson, that was a pretty good movie too. That one freaks me out. Remember how we're talking about car readers? That they have the girl reading the cards, and then all of a sudden she's reading regular cards, and the other they're playing a guess game of what card she has, and she's naming every card she's pulling out. Then when she turns around, she's elevated in the air, and like she's possessed. And you want to watch that one at nighttime? I think they you know, it's scary. Well, Evil Dead talks about a portal. The tree, the tree was a portal. Remember, a portal opened because they summoned a portal to get rid of that tree or whatever, the demon. That's how he went up. when they had a part three, I think. Army of Darkness. He went back into the past through that portal. Yeah, Amityville Horror was creepy too. We hear knocking on the doors or banging on the doors, and we go open the door. There's nobody outside. You could hear children laughing at 3 in the morning, going around the home like they're playing. And I was like, man, whose kids are out here? I go out there and I just praying, but there's no kids out there. I pray around the house because you could hear them going around the house laughing. Demons. Well, people do spells like that. Witchcraft and necromancy. To them, it's some kind of power, or they think they have some kind of power. But they don't have that power. It's the unseen forces that are tricking them to think that they have power. A lot of things that happen in the movie is crazy, right? But that's why I believe in Jesus Christ. Yeah, she see my sister remembers. Those kids or demons was always coming to my window late at night, and I could see their silhouettes of a boy and a girl. And I'd be like, hey, y'all need to go home. At first, you hear them playing, it's like, golly, go to your. It's three something in the morning. What are y'all doing out here? I go outside. There's nobody outside, and I go into prayer. That was a creepy. I think to me, well, two of them. The disembodied voice wise. No, of course the growls. That's scary, right? The kids laughing at 3 in the morning. The ones that infiltrated the home. The one that I chased out of the house was creepy as hell. The one attacked my nephew's son when he was a baby. And when my sister woke me up to go help out the woman that was crying for help from the woods. That was a crazy experience right there. I'm just glad that I was able to overcome it. You know, I'm out there at 3 something in the morning with a bat in my hand, ready to swing at somebody because this woman was, you could hear her crying for help. And I go in there and I'm trying to swing the bat because the voice sounds real close. And next thing you know, they're crying for help stops. I'm looking, the leaves are off the trees, so I could see the gas station, I could see the club. Everything's empty. There's nothing open. And I'm looking to see if I see any movement, nothing. Then I had this feeling when I'm looking, my hair stood up. When my hair stood up, it's like, oh shit, there's something behind me. My senses are not going to get triggered like that. There's something behind me. When I turned around, they were there. 6. The one was very close, like probably like 4 to 5, possibly 6 feet away from me. And then the other ones on the right side, they were all on like 10-meter intervals, which was I counted three, and I counted three to the left because I could see their white eyes, like white glowing eyes, looking at me. That's something I'll never forget. I don't even know how I made it out of there in one piece, but I know it's because I went into prayer, and call upon Jesus Christ to help me, call upon the heavenly angels, and I was able to get out of there in one piece. My sister seen how I looked. I look whiter than Casper. Just put it that way. Yeah, the screams sounded very ugly. Like if the woman was something was happening to her, like she was in pain or she was, somebody was taking her out. I used to have this old picture of a tree where you could see like a woman hanging from the tree. I just don't know whatever happened to it. Facebook, it filters a lot of the pictures and kicks them out and stuff like that. I seen something crawling on the ground one time at nighttime, and it was all white. It was low to the ground. It was crawling very slow. It looked like the form of a human being, but it wasn't. It was moving very slow. It's like I don't want to do nothing with this. Let me just stay at the house and pray, so nothing like that will come near the house. But my sister said I was there more than 30 minutes, maybe longer. Yeah, I was there for a while. Before I took a first step, it's not like I turned around and walked, because I had three options. There was a creek with water like 15 feet to 17 feet behind me. To the left, I would have to cut through the woods, and I would have to go to where the bridge is to be able to climb the bridge, go through a ditch, climb up the street, up the ditch to get on the highway where the bridge is. But the way I was flanked, the one that was low to the ground would have chased me. So the only other option I had was just to walk back the same way I walked in, because it would be closer for me to get to the house, which that's why I went into prayer. Yeah, I asked her. I said, "Sis, do you want to go with me?" And she said no. Well, she said that she didn't want to go because I said, "Okay, just stay here and watch, protect the kids, watch over the kids, or her children and my son." She said, "I wasn't gonna go there after that. I heard that. No way." And I went in there like if nothing, because military trained, uh, I trained for any situation or any scenario. I go in there like if nothing, you know. Uh, 'Cause I know Jesus Christ is with me, but yeah, it was creepy because I could hear like right beside me because it was sounding very loud and just like, like something was happening to her. As I was fixing to swing the bed, everything stopped. It was crazy. So on the show, they talk about two beings. It was six beings, or six lycanthrope, because that's what they look like werewolves. But I couldn't see their silhouette. They were very tall. They were looking down at me. I looked like a midget compared to how big they were. They're massive. Yeah. Anybody got any questions? You're more than asked. Whoever's got questions. Telling you, if you even stayed there, if you camped out in the park in the little tent, you won't catch activity. I'm telling you. Let's put it this way. My brother-in-law was working on his vehicle, and I was out there at nighttime with him. My sister had got in there, or was it? And my little nephew, little Rick, was out there, and my brother-in-law, they told him to go inside the house, so he went inside the house. As we're working, I see somebody pass by the truck, and he was like, "Oh, it's little Rick." So he's following him. He's following him. He goes behind the vehicle. When it goes to grab him, he's gone. I think that was the first time that he said that he'd ever seen something. Uh, it freaked him out because he thought it was my nephew or his grandson, but it wasn't. It was just a dark spirit. Check it out. That manifested to look like my nephew's son. Looked just like him. My sister would always seeing things like that there. Do you believe people can be born a witch? I don't think born a witch is more of what gets placed in their path in life. That, you know, when they're born, they're not born witches. It's when you have faith or believe in Jesus Christ because you learn it. Is if they're made a witch if they follow and they practice the witchcraft or necromancy. But I do believe, you know, that can happen. Where, but I don't know. I'm just going to say that it could happen, just because uh, the different manifestations and capabilities that DDN or the shapeshifter skinwalker have. Exactly. Normally, they get trained that way, and there's some that they just gave up in life and they sold their soul. So we've been talking about a lot of things. I think we went a little bit off subject here. Oh, I seen something right now. I type on rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name. Leave that individual alone. We type on rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name. Send your heavenly angels to the location that I witnessed, Heavenly Father. Just a prayer in Jesus Christ's name. I hope you're liking tonight's live feed. I'm trying to do them earlier so I don't have to stay up too late. We're at 239 and we got 234 on here. Any more questions, anybody? Does anybody got any questions on what we're speaking of? Seances, I've seen people when they're holding hands and they're praying for somebody, that if they're not on the right path and they have spiritual openings, that whoever they're praying for, if they have an unclean spirit or demonic spirit, might attach themselves to them and make them ill. Thank you, Sister Madeline. See you later, Vaginator. Vash. We will. Have a good day. Some of the things to watch out for when it comes down to the balance or the reading of cards. Like I said, it's about the belief factor. So if you're believing in it, whatever is around you in spirit, which is they're always around us, unseen, they're going to try to use that to come up against you spiritually. Thank you, Brother Vash, or Vash. Cousin Jesse had to go to sleep. He got tired on us. That's what happens when you get old. You have to take them cat naps. My sister experienced a lot of things there. You know, when we talk about the manifestations or the abilities that they got, like for example, mimic somebody's voice, they can do that. But the other thing that they can do is manifest to look like your loved ones, just to deceive you. I think my sister experienced a lot of that when I left, where she could hear my nephews thinking it's them, but it's not. Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man, what's the Muffin Man, sis? Is it something that you eat? Do you know the Muffin Man? Is it something that you eat? The muffin? Yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff in Elms Grove, man. You're not going to see somebody in a costume there. I can promise you that. It's not going to be somebody pretending to be Bigfoot or any cryptids. Take your cameras, take your protection, your faith. You know, what's there surfaces up. It makes his presence known. How many times, sis, did you ever feel being watched? Like something was watching you. I got a feeling somebody's watching me. She would see red eyes through her windows all the time, looking inside her room. There was one time that we did catch a peeping Tom, but it was in a peeping Tom. I was on workman's comp because my back was hurt, and I guess they were trying to record me in the dark to see if I was doing something that was against, to catch me so they won't have to pay me for getting injured. And there was a guy right there by the house looking inside the window. Went outside to see a truck with the doors open. I said, man, I recognize that truck. So I'm looking, it's like, is anybody out here? Next thing you know, as I move a little bit, I see him ran and jumped in the vehicle, and he took off like a bat out of hell. I don't know whatever happened to the guy. I think he lost his job. The muffin man. My sister would see the shadow figures or shadow spirits in the house at nighttime, looking from the very top of the door frame, looking, peeking over like this, looking at her while she's watching TV. Yes, you know the muffin man. They're like, ew. But I want to drag y'all too long tonight. You know, at three when it hits three, it's 2:45 right now. I'm probably gonna stop the show. No, I don't want it as like people say, man, Brother Abe's got a good show, but that's 3 hours long. You know, I'm trying to make the shows to beef them up so people can see and witness them. Uh, but for right now, I'm doing it till whenever I get tired. So my question to y'all is this: what are the things that you know that can be used as portals? We know mirrors is one of them, right? That can be used as portals. Uh, we know tarot cards, or Ouija boards, seances, uh, blood sacrifices. You know, where people have to do what they people do what they do, but it's a sin. You know, like blood sacrifices. The question I'm trying to get to y'all is, if you know somebody, make it simpler. Do you know somebody that messed with your Ouija board and something bad happened to them? That's my question from Spiritual and Cryptid Encounters to the viewers. Do you know of somebody that they got attacked in that way? That question goes for anybody. Whether it's a Ouija board, whether it's a portal that somebody opened up because they were chanting or worshiping something. Anybody. When they draw a 6-point star on the floor, they summon demons. Yes. Yeah. I was telling you a story earlier, sis. What happened? I was telling them about that guy that we seen that looked like Martin Kafka, but it wasn't him. Sister Madeline said my aunt made a Ouija board when she's a teenager. I couldn't get rid of it when she was done. When they draw a 6-point star on the floor, where do they summon demons? Yeah, that's what they try to do that. It's not just for summoning. Uh, yeah, but they can send to go after people. A member of mine told me that he messed up with it and their house caught on fire and the little girl passed away from it. I hear you. Sorry about that. Uh, the planchette would move. The planchette, yeah. The planchette. Was that le planchette? It's the whole land there, man. It's the whole land. You can even go walking because they follow you. It's crazy. Me having the spiritual gifts, the discernment, my sisters got the same gift. I mean, we were young. We had lost our mother to domestic violence, and things like that happen. I don't love my sister. It's just we were going through a lot. I was working two jobs. I would go running a lot. You know, it's like you always try to do something to forget about things. The La Plancha, that's what you sent, or the Ouija board. That's what you're saying. Yeah, that sucker was flying on that board. Usually goes to. I think that's just one. We had so many different incidents. That's scary as hell. We got 32 viewers, 36 likes. Appreciate y'all for the likes. You're more than welcome to subscribe or join a Spiritual Encrypted Encounters group on Facebook, or you can follow my short reels under HCS865 on TikTok, or you can check them out here uh, on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Check out the latest one I have is literally a what did I call it? Ali, I can't even remember now. Boy, I just got a blank. Portal. Check out the short reel under A here, the most current one, and you're gonna see that the portal. If you look at the short reel that I have placed here uh, earlier today, or this afternoon, should I say? There's a portal there, right above me, within the tree lines. They sure know how to blend them in to the environment. Somebody said it's a circle red. Well, in the picture, I never circled it because I felt that if I circled it, it'd take away from the picture. Thank you all. I really appreciate y'all. My sister says I will play with it by myself. Yeah, and who is always telling you stay away from it? It's not good for you. Even though I was working, it was made out of wood, right, sis? It was pure wood. That a Ouija board that you had was wood. She could go like this, Not even touch it, and it starts moving by itself. What was the name that it was trying to use? Wasn't it the name David? The name was David that he used, right? The name that the Ouija board wanted you to call it was, I think it was David, right? I think my sister at the time was, shoot, I can't even remember how old she was. I think she was a junior or a senior. Might have been her senior year when she was messing with it. I mean, they said it at Walmart, so kids could play it. You had Monopoly or the Ouija board. Yeah, she was 17, so I was already uh, like 18, or 18 or 19. Uh, no, no. Like I said, where we come from in South Texas, we always witnessed a lot of things when we were growing up. A lot of lechuzas, dark lechuzas, a couple of white lechuzas, white owls, but brujas, a lot of brujas, dark witches. And as I'm saying that, I just seen a lot of. It says it would tell me things that it was going to happen. What would it always saying about me, sis? They didn't like me. Yeah, the Ouija board didn't like me, and I didn't like it. There was one time where I had walked in the house, sat down on the bed, and this is back home when I was a teenager, and something was banging on the door on the wall that the whole house was like shaking, vibrating. That's how hard of a hit. It was hitting the wooden home like that. And I started praying, and I said, I'm not afraid of you. Leave. And the noise stopped. See. It's like when you would walk into the room, it would stop, and it didn't want to talk to you. Yeah, it didn't like me. I guess it didn't like me because they already knew that I was going to do something to it, that I was going to destroy the board. They already knew that. But then, she remembers she was there that day. It says, how were the girls that were standing beside me, the three girls, how were they acting? Wasn't they like they were frozen, like they couldn't move? Like they couldn't blink or say nothing? It's like there was no time there when that spiritual battle was happening. They were in a trance-like state. They couldn't blink their eyes, like there was no time. Monsoon said, Did it catch fire when you put holy water on it? No, it caught fire when I put gasoline on it." They were in a trance-like state. They don't even remember what happened because when he disappeared, It's like they just started talking to where we left off. Nothing but dark black smoke coming out of it. Yeah, the little, yeah, that didn't burn. I don't think so. The planchette. It's kind of like the, no, since it's demonic and knew what I was gonna do. That it's kind of like the board already knew that its fate was sealed already with me. That's why it hated me. She would carry it everywhere with her friends. I don't know what they would be asking it. I just had to get rid of it. The black smoke that was coming out of it literally looked like a dark shadow coming out of it, but it was black smoke, thick black smoke coming out of it. Yeah, and it had a bad odor. Very thick, dark shadow. I'm just glad that we moved out of there. Too many bad memories from that location. But there was something living in that attic. The thing we seen that I seen, this why there was a lot of activity there. The thing that chased us from the ranch. That the big demon that had the that was midnight black with the big wings. It broke the attic when we came back from the ranch, and it went into our attic. So it'd been there all that time, causing chaos and havoc in our house, and it's still there. Any volunteers to go see it, see what y'all can do with it? It's in that last room of the house, in the attic. Yeah, but I don't think we have access to the house anymore because I think he sold the house or something happened, but he don't live in there no more. Yeah, one day we'll go back down there, do a live in that last room because that's where the activity is, in the last room. A lot of activity. Not a curse on me. I just I've been gifted like this all my life since I was a kid. The Coronera in Mexico. I witnessed a lot of things with her when I was 3 years old. But I've always been able to tell what's within somebody's spirit. I could tell when somebody is not in the right path at the same time. We've been through a lot. We've been attacked spiritually. Me, my sister, my brothers, sisters. But we overcame those spiritual attacks. Some of them were for dark witches and warlocks. And some were just from greedy people trying to make easy money off of us, right? But we overcame that. But yeah, when you're talking about generational curse, if somebody in your family is doubling in something, grandmother, grandfather, great great grandmother, well, somebody's gonna make a spiritual stance against it, right? And that's what we do. Well, the curse is that somebody dabbled in something. That's the curse. The people were dabbling in the dark arts. What happens when you dabble in the dark arts or you're trying to summon something? Portals. Portals open. And things come out of those portals. It's kind of like if me and my sister will go to Elms Grove, the things that are there will surface up and they start acting like fools, making all kinds of noises. They'll be laughing. We'll be able to capture the shadow figures coming out of the woods. It's just, I haven't been there so long that I know that they're there. It's not a good feeling being spiritually attacked by them. I like the feeling that I have right now with the Love Foundation. It's just not a good feeling. What we've been through, been through in Elms Grove, we'll never forget because it happened, you know. But it's not about dwelling in the past. It's just becoming stronger in the future. They can. If you have a spiritual opening, they can attach themselves to you. If you're mad, have unforgiveness, you get scared easily, all those are spiritual openings they can attach themselves. And there's a lot of people that have those attachments. Those people hunting Bigfoot, hunting this, hunting cryptids. If they only knew that they're not really hunting, they're being hunted by the DDM. He said they killed many people in our area. Not just people, animals. Animals were being found dead. Just put it this way. The tails of cats and dogs were being found in the park. Shredded bamboo. Any more questions, y'all? Wherever you're tuning in. I'll answer questions. If anybody got a question or you want to share something, enlighten us. Yeah. Missing 401 cases. People get lured. Well, some get lured. Children can get lured if something is manifested to look like their brothers or their sisters or their mom, and he lures them into the woods because they think they're following their family members. That's one way. The other way, if there's a possession, if the person has a spiritual opening, they get possessed, that they get get taken deep into the woods. Next thing you know, they're free from the possession or bondage that they were in, but they don't know where they're at. And survival is very slim if you have no food or no water. Imagine waking it up when the unclean spirit, demonic spirit leaves the body and there's nothing around you, just woods. She said, I have no more for tonight. I could keep on going, y'all. Yeah, a lot of missing 401 cases. I remember in the 70s, there was nothing but the cartons of milk had pictures of all the missing children. Like, it's sad. She said, no more, no more, no more left for tonight. Okay. Well, with the missing people, you know, some might be in a different, somewhere else they might have taken them. But once they made the trip, their 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 flesh is gone, which they're in spirit. They're like in spirit, but they're being detained or trapped in those areas in spirit form. But in saying that, brothers and sisters, we've been going on for 3 hours and 12 minutes. I think I'm going to call it a night. Uh, is there any other questions anybody would like to ask before I go? And I feel good that we've been troll free tonight. This is an awesome feeling being troll free. Mirrors. You go night. All right, sis. Thank you for joining the chat and you know answering some of the questions that were being asked of you. I haven't been able to go live with a guest because apparently that feature is not working right now for Facebook. We're being troll free tonight. But I hope you'll enjoy tonight's live feed. Maybe I might do a conclusion of this tomorrow. But yeah, I have more stories to share about things that happened to certain people that we knew. That grew up with us, and he's dealing with when they do the markings of they're summoning something. It's dealing with that, but I can share that tomorrow. In saying that, thank you all who have tuned in here tonight on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Love, light, and blessings to you and your families. If there's a topic that somebody might want me to discuss or talk to you all about, just hit me up. I'm under ApeSias on Facebook, SIAS, and you can hit me up on a messenger and I'll respond to y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Sister Madeline, Sister Ivy, all the moderators here tonight. Thank you very much. Everybody have a good morning, good night, and love, light, and blessings to every single one of y'all. Peace out, everybody.